An interlocking directorate forms when companies share one or more board members. Interlocks can form for various reasons, such as enabling companies to access other companies through these interlocking directors, provide a way for companies to control other companies, allow rich and well-connected families to network with peers to exercise economic control, or simply because the number of qualified board members in the country is limited. Many studies have delved into the issue of interlocking directorates, trying to determine why they form, analyzing their characteristics, and measuring their contributions to business success. However, very few studies on the characteristics of Philippine firms have been conducted since the late 1980s. This paper, The Properties of Interlocking Directorates in the Philippines, an Exploratory Analysis, aims to establish a baseline measurement in order to facilitate greater understanding of the relationships that connect the country's business community. To do this, we scraped the website of the Philippine Stock Exchange at the end of October 2021 to capture publicly disclosed information for all publicly listed companies as of that time. We collected data on the stock ticker symbol, industry classification and subclassifications, market capitalization, and the names and positions of each company's board of directors. We applied cleansing techniques to account for differences in how names were reported, with obvious variations in names consolidated under a single name. We also identified the gender of each director through a variety of methods, such as classifying all names with generational suffixes like junior or the third as male. When there is ambiguity in the case of gender-neutral names or foreign names in Chinese and Japanese, we examine corporate disclosures and search through social media to identify their genders. Our final dataset consists of 251 corporate boards, representing 2,325 board seats and 1,634 unique directors. A network diagram is a visualization of networks consisting of nodes which represent entities such as boards and directors, and edges, which are the connections between these entities. The initial bipartite network links directors to companies and was converted into two bimodal networks, one consisting of directors connected to other directors through the boards they serve in, and the boards connected to other boards through their directors. Using the free open-source software Cytoscape 3.9, we plotted the networks in a way that treated the nodes as mutually repulsive objects attached to a spring. Finally, we calculated various network statistics and measures using Cytoscape's Analyzer feature as well as the CytoNCA plugin. Over 45% of directors hold multiple board seats, and the results show that how interlocked boards are varies according to the industry. Financial firms have less interlocked directors in proportion to total directors, while holding firms have the most, suggesting that corporate control is exercised through holding firms. Still, over 3/4 of all directors serve on a single board, with a frequency distribution of boards served per director following a power distribution across all demographics. On average, a company is connected to 6.36 other companies, although 10% or 26 companies had isolated boards without any interlocks. Similar to the results of the director analysis, holding firms have more connections, while financial firms are less connected. However, both types of firms are similar in the sense that the vast majority of their interlocks are with firms outside the same industry. The network analysis reveals that the country's business network is highly cliquish in nature. Directors are mostly isolated into smaller groups that know each other, and the network is held together by key companies and directors who serve as central hubs. Which companies are central to the network? It depends on how centrality is defined. PLDT Inc. is better connected to other companies, with the most number of direct connections and needing the least number of steps to access other companies. However, Philippine Infradev Holdings Inc. is connected to the most influential companies, while SPC Power Corporation often appears on the shortest path between any two random companies. Former Chief Justice Artemio V. Panganiban is the most well-connected director, serving in 8 boards and is connected to a total of 70 directors. This is followed by Auditor Cirilo Noel of SGV, who is linked to 5 boards and 61 directors, and businessman Willie Osier with 7 boards and 59 directors. This study has established a baseline measurement showing that Philippine firms are generally well-connected, able to communicate directly with each other as the need arises. This network is glued together by key directors who held outsized influence and connections. Control is administered mainly through holding and not financial firms. With these observations in mind, direct comparisons can now be drawn with business networks in other countries, which could help strengthen corporate governance in the future.